go live. Yeah, thank you. So, yes, sir, please continue.
No, please.
Yeah, so just allow me to introduce you before all our students, because maybe some of them doesn't know about you. That's why it's necessary. But I'm really delighted to host another session of Cultural Studies Research Forum. This is our fourth public lecture we organized in 2024. And today's topic, everyone, will you please mute yourself? Okay, I muted all. Sorry. So, first of all, I heartily welcome you all to the fourth public lecture organized by Cultural Studies Research Forum in this year concerning the topic Building a Perfect AI Research Ecosystem, Do's and Don'ts. Now, hope that you may know all about the CSRF, but just a brief introduction about our organization. The CSRF launched on 1st January 2022 is a student-driven non-profit dedicated to fostering free public lectures and discussion on various research aspects in cultural studies. We aim to empower students by exposing them to new research areas, literary trends, and the latest theoretical concept. Now, please allow me to introduce our respected resource person, Mr. J.S. Anantha Krishnan sir, a multifaceted individual whose talents span across various domains. His impressive accomplishment and contribution have left an indelible mark in the fields of arts, humanities, and technology. Sir wears many hats, like he is a translator, he is an orator, he is an author, and his written works resonate with depth and insight, enriching the literary landscape. Besides this, his thought-provoking columns provide fresh perspective on literature and culture, making him a literary columnist. He sequels and other interesting roles as well, likely a carnatic musician, a painter, and his comment over multiple languages opens doors to cross-cultural understanding, giving him title of a polyglot as well. So, Sir is also a trailblazer in research. His primary focus lies in exploring the intersection of artificial intelligence and the arts and humanities. Additionally, he delves into the evolving landscape of digital humanities, unraveling its potential. Notably, he received the prestigious PM Yuba Prime Minister Fellowship in 2022, a testament to his exceptional abilities. His academic journey includes being a rank holder at the University of Kerala and earning a Sachivotama Smaraka Gold Medal. Currently, serving as a senior research fellow at the Department of English, Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kalari, he continues to push boundaries and contribute to scholarly discourse. Furthermore, J.S. Ananthakrishnan sir played a pivotal role in the experimental South Indian literary project, The Stretched Angels, showcasing his innovative spirit. As a founder and editor of the literary journal, The Word Watch, he curates and amplifies voices within the literary community. So, with that saying, I would like to call on the stage our respected person, J.S. Anantha Krishnan sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Koil, for that benevolent introduction. To start with, often when we think about artificial intelligence and its intersection with research, people are quite doubtful about the ethical dilemmas that are involved in this process. This is rather a misconception which is associated with this phenomenon of broader landscape of research with the arrival of artificial intelligence assisted tools, which can, in a way, broaden as well as uh, you know uh, avail a more deeper understanding of the domains in which you do your research. To begin with, let's think about the very process of research itself and how it has undergone changes in the recent years. For example, from the traditional ways of visiting a library and from there to moving on to adapt computer. For example, the arrival of internet in a way revolutionized research. Without even going to a library per se, you can access a plethora of resources. For example, it can range from ebooks to research papers which you can access from your homes itself, and thereby we made research even more democratic, if I could say so. So the accessibility was ensured, with the arrival of technological innovations, even before artificial intelligence took the center stage. Talking about artificial intelligence post 2019, when OpenAI, came up with they already had two very wonderful projects with them. The first one of them was Doll-E, which was actually a portmanteau they created by bringing together Salvador Dali and the movie Wall-E. So it was fundamentally a text to image generator. Then it was again followed by Dolly 2. But for us, we know OpenAI by this particular project called Chat GPT. It became the most downloaded application in a very limited time. And eventually it took the center stage of most of our daily activities, from planning our schedules to even at times, you know, providing you mails whenever you are lazy, to even research. So after 2019 summer, things became even more interesting. But it was not an adventure that began in 2019. You can trace back the origins way back to 1950s or 1960s, when the research in artificial intelligence took on a very different path. You won't even believe, around 1970s, from around 1970s to 1980s, we also had this particular period called artificial intelligence winter, or AI winter, as we call it, when innovations or developments in artificial intelligence were so limited. There are many reasons that went into it. So, I just gave you this introduction to make you understand that AI is not something that actually came up all of a sudden out of the blue in 2019. Now, regarding research, see, often when we think about research, we often think about artificial intelligence as something that aids you in composition of your dissertations. That is not largely the case. When you think about AI, we'll have to think about it from a very, very different perspective. For example, when you think about research, what is the first thing that strikes you? Even at the very onset of your research, there is one very important thing that you have to take into consideration. It's a verification of a random thought that comes to you. Research does not come to you in libraries per se. Research comes to you as if it's as beautiful as a good love story. A random thought hits you while you travel in your bus. A random thought hits you while you take your shower. And these thoughts can hit you at any moment. The spark that basically leads you to research in a particular area. Now, when the thought hits you, when you have a statement with you, as if you have a thought that needs to be verified, what will be the first thing that you'll all be doing? You'll be going for Google. You'll fundamentally do a search in Google. You'll go through a series of sources and you will be finding out as to whether that thought was right or wrong, or are there any articles or pieces that basically support your claims. This is where I want you to be introduced to how AI works this out. When you talk about research, we are not to, fundamentally go with any source X or Y that comes to you. You'll have to go with sources that are authentic, sources that can be, in a way, sources that are accepted among the academic community. For us, research is fundamentally based on academic facts and not general inferences that you have while you, random articles, any advices from your friends, or in research there is an interesting saying that you don't even trust your senses while you do your research. All you need is data. You need data and data and nothing else. So to find out proper resources that would validate your claims, and think about a scenario where you have a claim, you will have to go through multiple research papers to find out. In the conventional way, you'll have to go through multiple research papers to find out whether that particular hypothesis that you have with you is right or wrong. You'll have to spend hours and hours and hours. But now AI gives you like brilliant alternatives to do the same. For example, let me just share my screen right now. I hope the screen is visible right
Yes, sir. It is visible.
right? Right. On your screen is this wonderful application called Consensus. See, Consensus is one such application which can help you to validate your claims with reference to research papers published. For example, let's go with one a random thought here. I hope it's visible and it's clear, right? Let's go with one random thought here. For example, is depression inherited? Okay, we'll just go with that particular question that we have. If we just search for that question, you are right away, you are taken to this particular page. Can you see this? You've got a summary here, which basically gives you 15 research, the inferences from 15 research papers. These studies suggest that depression has a genetic component with heritability estimates up to 50% and involves multiple genes that may affect neurotransmission and synapse function. Although not all cases of depression are explained by genetic factors alone. See, you are not sourcing this from any random text. I'll just take you through them. Before that, on your right, you can also see the consensus meter, which gives you a proper analysis of research papers and the percentage chances of this particular claim being true or false according to the research papers available. You also got a co-pilot mode here where you get a very brief literature review, which will take you through the major findings from research papers that are listed. So these are not random statements. For example, if I just hover over the point one, you can also see the research paper here, Genetics of Depression, a review. That is the paper. That is a review paper. And you can also see the, just below that, you can see the journal as well as the author of the paper. If you go even down, you can also see the paper here. So you can see it, the inference from the paper with reference to the particular question that you've asked, the journal, the author of the paper, the number of citations associated with the paper, and 2006, the year of publication. See, why is this so relevant, this particular paper? They have actually cleared that here. This is a systematic review, first of all. Second, this is a rigorous journal. So this issue ranked in the top 50% of journals measured by SciScope. Now, this is a highly cited paper. Like this is from top 5% of the most cited papers in their database. So they have been listed at the top. The list does not end with 15 or 16 papers for that matter. You can load more and more and it will be going on as you can see here. This is one type of this is how AI fundamentally you know intersects with research as such. See, it's making things more easier, reducing the time that is involved in your work. You're not talking about hard work for research here, we are talking about smart work. And to reduce maximum amount of time that you spend on mechanical tasks like finding a research paper or finding a source that basically goes with or against your claims for that matter, that is very important when it comes to research. Involvement of tools that can significantly reduce the time that you spend like anything. When it is research, when it's time bound research that you do, time is everything. Now, if we can just take it a step, you know, one step ahead, you can also go to this wonderful website called typeset.io, or earlier this was, and even now it's called SciSpace. Let's do another interesting thing. For example, we'll just go with one of the suggested questions here. How does climate change impact biodiversity? See, even if you get hold of a paper, as we basically saw like 2 minutes ago, like we found a paper. But even if you find a paper, then there are a few more questions that you will have to ask yourself. Like, even if I have the paper, I'll have to read it. Now, read it in detail, go through it again and again, and to have a proper analysis of the research paper part by part. What you can see here is that uh, in this particular research paper, they've given you a proper analysis of that research paper in like 4 or 5 parts: insights, conclusions, summarize, abstract. I hope you can see the columns here, right? Summarize, abstract, results. Then you've got summarized introduction, the methods used. Now, the literature survey part, the limitations of a particular research paper, contributions from the research paper, and practical implications of the research paper. See, this is where things get even more interesting. You also have got a Ask Copilot mode, which you can see here. I just click Ask Copilot mode here. You can fundamentally interact with the research paper. You can chat with the research paper for that matter. For example, impact of climate change on water resources and its implication on biodiversity. I just have this particular question. Are there any references in the paper about freshwater lakes? Suppose I'm doing my research in freshwater lakes, just asking this question here. Let's look at the answers. Wait for it. See, freshwater lakes and provided sources. So from the source, they are giving me answers regarding the question that I've asked. I mean, source, that is this particular paper. Climate change impacts on freshwater resources, including lakes, are discussed in the context of water scarcity and shortages. Relationship. I hope you can see the chat box on right as well. The relationship between climate change and water systems affect the availability, quality, and potential destruction of freshwater resources, including lakes. Now, the best part is that you can even go with follow-up questions and ask questions on and on and on. See, this is not just limited here. Let's and even you can download your research paper right from here. Just give me a second. You can directly download your research papers from here. And I'll tell you, like, even this particular page can help you in many interesting ways. I'll just take you to this. We'll go with a random page. We'll just go to a random page right now. Just opening up this page, you have got a Chrome extension for SciSpace, which you can download, and I'll just show you what it can do for you when it comes to a random web page. Like to read that entire page, often people celebrate this particular view that you have to do significant amount of hard work. See, why should you drudge all the way to research? You can still do the smart work. I'll just show you this one. I've just opened this page. I've got this Chrome extension on the right, which I just clicked in. You saw the drop down here. I can ask the page itself as if what summarize, for example, summarize the page. If I just go with that particular command, I hope you can see this. They're giving you the summary of the web page. You don't have to go with and reading an entire page, or you don't have to uh, you know uh, exercise, how should I put it, like do this futile exercise of reading an entire thing. It's as if you are searching for a needle in a haystack when it comes to research. You don't have to read an entire research with this. Can even work with uh, PDFs for that matter. So you don't have to search for that needle in haystack anymore. All you need is a good magnet, and that magnet is what AI is all about. So uh, I think that is one of the most perfect analogies that you can use for artificial intelligence research. So if you don't use it, you will have to search for that needle. Yes, Gitanjali has asked me a question. You can just go to Chrome and just search for SciSpace, S uh, PACE, SciSpace, and you can download it. Yes, I can show you the PDFs as well. Just give me a second. For PDF, what I'd suggest you are two interesting tools. I'll just show you how. Let's go with Chat PDF, the tool. So let's think about, I hope Gitanjali this is visible, Chat PDF. Right, I'm just opening up one research paper here. So this is a research paper on status of colonial and post-colonial women. Women in colonial and post-colonial India. So the best part is that, see, let's think about a scenario where you want to discuss, you want to understand what are these differences that she is referring to. Let's ask this question to the PDF itself. So chat PDF fundamentally does the same thing. It chats with the PDF. What I'm going to do here is that I'm just going to search for, like, are there any comparisons between, sorry, we'll just rephrase it, we'll make it more analytical. Did the status of improve in post-colonial India comparison with So we'll just go with this. And I hope you can see the chat box. Just enlarge that for you. Can you see this? Based on the
Yes,
information
sir.
provided in the PDF files. Yeah, based on the information provided in the PDF file, it can be inferred that the status of women improved in post-colonial India compared to colonial India. And that is not a very random reference. They are actually giving you areas in the particular research paper where these references are done. For example, if I just click one, they'll be giving you like in which area. For example, there is this reference of post-colonial India saw the rise of incidents of sexual abuse against women, but it also witnessed movements like the Shabarimala Shrine movement and the voices against triple talaq, etc., etc. Can you see this? And they will redirect you to this particular area again. You can see that blue marking there, right? And that's not it. See, even if you get the research paper, you want to read through it, you want to understand it, but come on, you're just a beginner in research, you can't do it. There is still a tool which can help you out in that particular process. For example, this is where I take you to this very interesting tool called explainpaper.com. See, explain paper is very, very interesting for that matter. Example, I'm just selecting a random paper here. So this is explain paper for you. Like what is being done here is also a very interesting thing. See, this is a research paper titled Narrating Civil Conflict in Post-War Sri Lanka, Counter Memory, Working Through, and Implications for North-South Solidarity. So if you have such a paper, you have got problems in identifying and understanding certain terms. Let's look at counter memory, the term, for example. The only thing that you'll have to do is to just select the term. I hope you can see on your right counter memory being highlighted in yellow. It's visible, right?
Yes, sir,
Right.
it is visible.
Now, yeah. Now, once you highlight it, you can customize your explanation. Like from from an explanation for a 5-year-old, just you can see the slider here. From 5-year-old to middle schooler to high schooler to undergrad, grad, or expert level. So you can customize the explanation levels for yourself. So once I select the expert level, once you explain this, I hope you can see this, like the expert level explanation for counter memory. Counter memory refers to narratives or accounts that challenge and contest the official historical narratives imposed by state in the context of post-war Sri Lanka. See, this is not as if they are giving you an explanation as if you are selecting from Google. They are also giving you the context. The contextual explanation is also given. The paper is on Sri Lanka, so they are giving you this analysis again in the context of post-war Sri Lanka. Counter memories play a crucial role in highlighting the experiences of survivors and witnesses of the civil conflict, aiming to strengthen the reconciliation and solidarity among different victim groups. These narratives are seen as tools for promoting critical reflection, challenging dominant power structures, and advocating for social justice and historical accuracy. That does not just stop there. If you move down, can you see this one, related resources? So you are even provided yes, we will come to Elizabeth. You are even provided elaborate reading materials, for example, confronting the complexity of loss. If I just click that, you are redirected to a research paper from academia. Again, now there is yet another interesting. What I'd suggest you to do now is to just look at this application and just to see another. How many of you really still go with lectures, even YouTube lectures to uh, you know, uh, you know, access study materials. So let me just ask you this question. Like anyway, it's half an hour past our session. I think we'll shift to our interactive sessions from now on for the next half an hour. See, when you access a YouTube video, how many of you found this very hard? Like for just pausing the video, then taking down your notes, pausing your videos, taking down your notes. That means as if even if you have like a 1 hour lecture, the taking notes and everything will take you around like 1 hour 45 minutes, right? It is absolutely tedious, as Gitanjali has put it. It is not at all a tedious job. What I'd suggest you to do is to go to this. We'll just start with a video for that matter. I'll just go with a video on. Okay, this is a video from YouTube itself. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to copy this video link for that matter. This is a lecture on like artificial intelligence. This is from Stanford Online. So what we'll be doing right now will be as if it's very much time consuming, like as you all pointed out. Now, what we are going to do is that we are going to do this. Go to this website called videohighlights.com. So in video highlights, I can just log in, right? Now, if you want to do a new summary, what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to just upload my URL and I'm going to summarize I'm going to summarize the video. Just look at the right hand side. Can you see this? This is the summary of the video. Like that you just see. I hope you can see this. Then from beginning to the end. That is just the beginning. You can also look at the key points. You see the key points here? Like as if they are even giving you almost as if this is a PowerPoint. And you can even go with the complete transcript of the lecture from beginning to the end. But now I'll tell you one more interesting thing to do. I hope you remember size space extension that I told you just a few minutes before, right? So what you can do then is that you can go with, even you don't have to read the entire transcript. You can just click this and you can ask questions regarding this entire transcript that you are any references to artificial intelligence and its use in daily life. See, for example, if you are a literature student, you are going through an entire video. Can you see this? Now I've just gone with this question. From this long transcript, I've got this answer. So you don't have to read the entire transcript to find your answer. Now your answer is right there. On your right. I hope that was visible, right? Right. Now, let's think about another interesting scenario. Like this is, you've got an explainer, you've got an analyzer, you've got tools which can basically help you with finding your resources, etc., etc. Now let's think about yet another scenario where you are trying to do your, yeah, I'll show you that again. Angeline has asked me to repeat the process. See, what you can do here is that I'll just minimize this and everything. Angeline, if you have your size space extension installed, I'm just clicking the size space extension. Now you've got the chat box here. Angeline, can you see this? Like the chat box here? Right. Now you can ask your questions as a summarize the the uh, points or something, whatever you want to give. Like they'll basically give you the focus areas. Like they have started giving you the focus areas. That's it. So the thing is, now you don't have to do that, regular kind of hard work that you usually do. See, even as a postgraduate student or a graduate student for that matter, you had all these lectures there in internet, then you can't waste so much time. For example, if that's a 2 hour lecture, then you'll have to wait and wait and wait, and you'll have to pause again and again, then take down your notes and again to repeat the process. And that was time consuming like anything. Now in a way, we have shifted our gears and reached a place where we can, in a way, depute all these mechanical tasks to a machine. And it even gets better. For example, even if you have the full transcript of, I'll just show you that. Even if you have a full transcript of or you have a research paper, let's consider that you have a research paper with you, and you want to convert the entire research paper into PowerPoint presentations. So on a normal scale, what you do is that you'll have to do it all on your own, or manually you'll have to do it. One thing that I suggest for that is slidespilot.com. See, slidespilot.com is a very interesting platform which you can use. So just go with website and we just go. All right. Just give me a second. Right. See, if you want to convert a document, an entire document to a PPT. For example, I am just going with convert to PPT. So I'll just upload a PDF, a random PDF for that matter. You just go with we'll just go with this document. And I'm going to convert with AI. You can select your theme, whatever you need, and just go and go. I'm just gonna go with this one. Or this one for that. Wait. Thing is that once you download the slides, they can also be modified. Like you can edit it as you wish. Can you see this? Like that entire document was converted to a PPT. it has got its own limits. Like if you go with a free subscription, like there are limits that come with this. See, there are even websites which can convert your thoughts to PPTs. For example, there is this application called Tom, Tome. Tom can basically convert even if you have a random thought. For example, if you're thinking about bicycle tourism and uh, let's think about bicycle tourism and a city of your choice, they will basically go through that concept and will give you like a customizable 6 to 9 slide, you know, and in wonderful templates and even images. I still remember creating a PowerPoint presentation using Tom, where I asked that particular program to create for me a PowerPoint presentation on superheroes and electric vehicles. So it was a very weird concept, like superheroes and EV. So that was done as a part of a lecture done back in Chennai. It was an engineering college, Sairam Institute of Technology, if I'm not wrong. So they actually went with, let's go with the superheroes and EV. And you won't believe it, they even gave suggestions of for superheroes to build EV charging stations in Manhattan, where in most of the superhero movies, the villains do land. This is like a 10 slide presentation, Anand. Like this is pretty long, pretty decent as well. For Tom, you can basically customize it. Like you can decide the length beforehand. Yes, for Tom, TOME, yes, exactly. For Tom, you can basically customize it. Now I'll take you to one more place. Like we are talking about these individual apps. Let me just take you to a supermarket of uh, how should I put it? A supermarket of AI utilities. This is a website for avidnode. Avidnode, as you can see on your screen here. See, there are n number of tools, and in a single 1 hour lecture, we can't finish everything. We are trying to finish the maximum here. Like to give you an insight into like what is happening. There are. I can give you a list for that, Anand. I'll just show you this one. Can you see it? Like it's getting loaded. Let's wait for it. Right. So you can see this particular website, right? Have it note. So one interesting thing here is this one called AI Transcribe. So AI Transcribe is a tool that you all need. Like Anand will be discussing about the tools like in detail in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes time, where we'll be discussing all the possibilities of tools that can be employed to create PPTs, whether the tools that are text to image generators, etc., etc. We've got a very long list of such tools to be discussed. So we'll come to that as well, like towards the end of the session. So AI transcribe is a very interesting utility provided by Avidnode. So Avidnode basically provides you 120 minutes of free transcription. For example, if you have an audio clip, like whether it's spoken in Russian, whether it's in Tamil, whether it's in Telugu, you've got a very long list of languages here. As you can see here, from Afrikaans to Chinese, Finnish, Greek, Hindi, Hungarian, Icelandic, Kannada, Kazakh, anything. To say they have it, like if you have, uh, a lecture in either Russian or whether it's in German and you don't understand these languages. Once you have the audio, it directly transcribes the entire content. It will transcribe your audio and video files, whether even if that's a video file, they'll transcribe the audio and video files and translate them to English. That is the best part. So you can basically do this with files which are of a maximum video size of 1 GB or a maximum audio size of 500 MB. So this is one very interesting tool that becomes very useful. I often say that even if you want to sleep through my lectures, this is a very interesting thing that you can use. Like you can sleep during my lectures, and then still you can, in a way, how should I put it? In a way, like if you want to revisit it someday, uh, you can. I'll just show you that one. Yes, fundamentally, this translates everything to English. So the only target language that we have here is English, Anjali. So even if you want to sleep through a lecture, feel feel free to use this tool. Now, this is not why I called AvidNote a supermarket of AI, tools and research. If you just look at the templates that are, used, we have barely 10 minutes to go. Like, before that, can you see this? Like, you've got many templates with which you can work for your research, like suggest interview questions, suggest survey questions, analyze data, generate CSV. For example, I've just opened one of the windows. I'll just show you a sample for that matter. So we'll just go with suggest survey questions. I'll just go with a question itself. I need a survey questionnaire. Okay, we'll just ask for 3 sets of survey questionnaire. I need 3 sets. So we'll make it even more complex. I need 3 sets of survey questionnaires. That's questionnaires about opinions on solar energy among domestic house. Let's go with something like this. And and you can set the maximum research length at somewhere around, like, I'll just go with 500. In creativity, we'll set it as an average, and we'll just. Can you see this? The entire survey question being generated here. So set 2, set 3. So that does not stop here. Yes, Deepika, I have. That's a very interesting question that you asked. As a student without paying money, how many AI tools can we use in PhD? I'll tell you how. There is a shortcut. I'll tell you how as well. Like before that, let me just go through this entire thing, and I'll tell you like what to. This one for the, but just bear with me for like 2 to 3 minutes. Here in your publish option, you have got like a long list of utilities, research proposal. The same way in which we did our survey questions, we have got templates for like research proposal, plan my study, further research. That does not stop there. Suggest research conference, ideas for new studies. But the same thing. I hope you can see this as well. Sorry. Now, suggest journal, Twitter thread, suggest a title. Proofread this, explain this. What is the opposite view? Critique this. Summarize text. Write anything. A literature review. Write introduction, write method, write discussion, results, conclusion, abstract, historic overview. Rewrite this. Keyword for literature search, identify research gaps, suggest research method. So it's basically like a supermarket for research. Now to the question that Deepika has asked. Deepika, I'll give you very simple logic to follow this. Whenever you think about like purchasing a premium option, you will have to think twice. just see whether there are any websites out there which provide the same service for free. I'll just give you an example. I'll just show you one. Uh, let's look at one scenario and then you will understand this. So I have got this paper, impact of climate change on water resources and implications on biodiversity. Okay, I am just copying this title. I'll tell you why. Just copy the title. Now, there will be situations in research when you can barely find one or two research papers in your area and you can't find more. There will be times in which you will be stuck with one or two research papers and you can find more research papers in the same areas. In such scenarios, there are websites that can help you find research. This is for Deepika. Like I know that this particular example would answer your questions. See, one good place where you can go is a website called Lit Maps. Like Lit Maps, where you can go with you can search for your article here. Like I'm just going with this particular article. I'm searching for it. So they have found that article and I'm just going with continue. Just a second, just a second. I think I've gone with the okay, this is it. Let's think about this. Just give me a second. I'll have to go with like just give me a second. So can you see just give me a second, okay? Can you see this? Like a map being generated here. This is not just random dots placed in your screen for that matter. They are basically giving you a map of research papers which are in a way related to the source research paper. For example, this is the source research paper, and the representation is not like random dots. Every dot represent a research paper. The smaller the dot, the lesser the references. The larger the dot, I will come to that, Renu. Like, it's a very interesting question that you asked. Like, the reference, the larger the dot, the larger the number of references, and the smaller the dot, the smaller the number of references. And from left to right, it's chronologically arranged. Like as if on the right you can see 2024, and when you go towards the left, you can see till around 1980, 2005. You can see the how chronologically it has been arranged. Now, the higher each dot is, that is, the higher each paper is represented, the more the citation number. Oh, and that is how it has been done. But why I wanted this to be shared with Deepika is because of a very simple reason. See, Deepika, they basically give you a limited number of research papers for this analysis, and they say that you'll have to go with your premium versions for doing the same. But the same task, the very same task, can be done. I'll just copy this research paper. The same task in an unlimited way can be done using a very different website. This is a website called connectedpapers.com. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to search the same paper here. They have found the paper for me. I'll just click that. And you'll have to wait for the server to see like how many papers they can generate. The other one was very much limited, like around 20 papers max. That's all. Can you see this? See the number of papers here? Deepika, it's like too many research papers. And here the arrangement is in a very different way. For example, you have got darker circles and lighter circles, smaller circles and bigger circles. See, the larger the circle, the paper with a larger circle, attached to that, basically represents this fact that that particular research paper has got more number of citations. And the smaller circles are papers with less number of citations. And regarding the circles and the darker circles and the lighter circles, darker circles are those papers which are recently published. For example, if you look at the most darkest among them is this particular paper, implementation, research and develop and in developing countries. So this is like published in 2020. The lightest circle which I can spot here is this one. This is published obviously in 2009, which is a very earlier publication. So the thing is that, see, when you look at, even when you're thinking about downloading research paper, even when you're thinking about like finding research papers, you've got two tools in which one, the free, the premium options provided by one tool was offered as a free option in another tool. So before you select any premium tool, you will have to see whether there are any cheaper, freer alternatives available. And that is my part. And there is a very interesting question from Renu. The question is very, very interesting. Should I read it out? Like, should I read that out? Like, sorry, it's a out of context question, but I'm just curious if we can trust AI for consequential decisions or not. The thing is, you should, like, what would you do, Renu? Like, would you trust AI?
I guess I won't.
Yeah. The thing is that whenever, whenever you are in a scenario where you are to take a decision, like everything, every single generation that comes out of an AI comes with, there is a larger framework involved, which basically the backbone of that particular decision that that an AI suggests you, or a suggestion that AI gives you comes largely from, it largely depends upon the database it basically accesses. So if the database is flawed, that particular generation will also be flawed. You might have noticed this. For example, uh, a program is as good as the database it accesses. So that is a simple reason. And if the database is biased, the results will also be biased. So
As
I think we,
sorry to interrupt,
yeah,
but want to say that ki, whenever I just AI any problem of mine ki I have to solve it out, I have to take another reference from Google because I do not trust much on AI.
I got the very thing. Like, even if you, like, as if when you go with ChatGPT, you see this problem. Like, right? When you're referring to AI, I think you are referring to ChatGPT.
Not exactly.
Now,
I
like,
have many computer softwares at which I depend upon, but still I feel that Google is much better than that of AI.
there are actually tools which can help you out. Like, for example, if you're thinking about, let me just show you one what I'd suggest you was to go with more precise tools for that. See, when I've listened to many friends, many students of mine who basically complain about like tools which basically give you biased data, or certain tools which deliver you data which is filled with errors and everything. Thing is that if you're quite sure about what source is being used, to generate your data, what that do? Like, it is as good as going to Google and finding it out on your own. Like if you're very clear
Certainly,
about what,
certainly.
so what I'd suggest for you that is cognosis. Example in cognosis, I can just show you like what I've been doing in this.
Actually, I have to check double when I work on AI if it's biased or not biased.
Got it. Got it. See, the thing is in cognosis, one good thing about cognosis is it. I'll just show you this. I can show you. Like I'll tell you, like I don't have like much time. That's why. See, in cognosis, whenever you start doing a search, or if you want to do a literature review for that matter, what it suggests you is a very interesting thing. For example, it will primarily give you like the references that are used to generate the response that is given to you. You know, it will basically tell you these are the sources from which the data is generated. And in the at the very onset of your question being answered, there will be this properly defined workflow that will appear before you. Like we'll be searching for this, and this, and we'll be providing you sources from this, and this. So that you will be sure that like my data won't be too much flawed. Every single statement that comes out is referred to something. I hope it's clear.
Thank you so much.
Like they'll be telling you as if you're doing a literature review for that matter, as if I want to do a literature review on, I think I can just show you that as well. Just give me a second, okay? uh, we'll just wind this up. Like I know that a long lecture can be very boring, so what I'd do now is I'll just show you a very uh, I'll show you this one. Just the thing is that I know that it can be incredibly boring when it comes to a lecture that goes on beyond 40 minutes.
Not at
That's
all, sir.
the.
Not at all. It's just a fascinating thing. It always fascinates me. That's why just came here.
Oh, thank you so much. So we'll just try cognosis for now. Like as if we want to do a literature review. Let's think about uh, I mean just go with literature review on what do you want to do? Let's see. Now we'll just go for something very simple. We'll just go with Marxist feminism. Very simple. Like I'm just going with literature review on Marxist feminism. It's researching online, searching for literature reviews on Marxist feminism, considering 7 sources. I'll show you this one. Like, wait for it. Can you see this? Like the sources which were basically used. I hope it's clear. Like you can see it here, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they're not bluffing. If you even if you click, you will be redirected to that page. Wait for it.
Yes, sir.
Here you go. This is like Marxist feminist theory, a review, a critique, and an offering. by Patricia and Wasley Lomire. So before getting that entire literature review part, you can see like from which sources the data is taken. So even if there is an alternative, I'd ask you to go with Mercell AI Playground. This is even better. I'll just show you why this is even better. Let's go with impact of let's go with this one. Sleep, sorry, of childhood trauma on sleep patterns. Okay. So what it does here is that you can have like two interesting, very, very interesting. Can you see this one? Like two very, very interesting LLMs at work here. For example, I'll just go with Chat GPT's GPT 3.5 Turbo on one side, and can you see Google Gemini here on your right? Just selecting Gemini, like from this drop down menu. I hope it's visible. Where is Gemini? Right. I hope it's visible, right? On one side, I've got OpenAI and on GPT 3.5 Turbo, and one side I have got the Gemini 1.5 Pro. Now just look at what is going to happen. Can you see this? At the same time, you are getting like two responses. You can do like any number of combinations here. Right. See, at the same time, you can like at the same time you can do an analysis of them both. See, this is a platform which can basically give you responses on a single topic from two different sets of two different data sets, where you are exposed to like multiple options when it comes to accessing information on anything for that matter. See, in a way, uh, we have seen a revolution in the landscape of research with the arrival of AI, and it has become a more freer, democratic space. For example, even if you're a first generation researcher, you don't need anybody right now to assist you. As if a self-sufficient research ecosystem is budding up, where you are becoming more independent and independent research. I think this is the very beginning of this AI revolution in research. Also marks the how should I put it? Like this also marks the dawn of independent research per se. See, and think about another aspect. Let's think about research ecosystems just being limited to academic atmospheres, to colleges or institutions which usually specialize in research. We'll also in the coming years see a significant shift from that scenario to that of ecosystems which can nurture research even in places which are as of now unthinkable of when it comes to research. If you have a device that can be used, yes, sometimes as she has said, like sometimes as Renu has said, sometimes ChatGPT says just use search engine for more. No, it's not the problem with GPT for that matter. We are in a way evolving. And in the next 6 to 7 years, no, the thing is that the growth of the artificial intelligence is so exponential. And in the coming I would say that in the coming 1 year or 2 years, like your the ways in which we think, the ways in which we interact with society, the ways in which we engage with our society would change, and so will our ways in which we do our research. You will see a proper metamorphosis of this entire landscape. I don't know where it is heading, but it will surely change. The one thing that I'm quite sure about this is that it's not going to be what we think it will be. It will change, and one thing that we'll have to make sure is that don't don't be hesitant to accept these grand changes coming in. We are living in the best of the times of our of humankind, in general. So we'll have to embrace all these technological innovations. We'll have to embrace every technological change, every shifts, every advancements in research that comes along, and we'll have to. I won't even ask you to stay with the time, but you'll have to stay ahead of the time and keep moving, so that the world will have to raise you. The world will have to chase you, for that matter. And I wish you all a very wonderful year ahead and a very wonderful research journey ahead. So that's all from me for today. Thank you so much. I was
Thank
supposed to handle like 45 minutes, and I exceeded that by 30 minutes. I think it's pretty long. And thank you so much for patiently listening to me. Thank you so much.
thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir.
Thank you so much.
If you have
Thank you,
any
sir.
question, guys, then you can just ask to sir. Gitanjali, I think you have a question.
Yes, sir. Hello, good evening.
Yes,
So,
yes.
sir, now recently I have kind of I'm appearing for my last year MA, right? So I completed a dissertation and everything. So I've faced this difficulty, and I've heard from my peers that this Turnitin software kind of analyzes whether the research is done from like the research is done by AI or not, right? So according to that, we are kind of graded. So how can we mindfully use AI and kind of avoid such extensive use of it as well on the same
I,
lines?
I'll just give you one solution, and that's on your screen right now. Just give it some time. There
Yes.
you go. Undetectable.ai. See, there are tools which are called as humanizers, okay? Humanizers for that matter, which
Yes.
can basically help you evade like accidental AI plagiarisms that happen. See, when you talk about AI plagiarisms, most of these companies, including Turnitin, will basically vouch for this, that they basically go with a margin of error of around 6 to 8%, but effectively it can go to the extent of 20%. So to avoid that, one good thing to do is that to use a humanizer for that matter, AI humanizer. This is one such tool, undetectable.ai, where if you paste in your content, even if it's generated completely by AI, it will humanize the content, so that AI plagiarism checkers. It's a way to bypass AI plagiarism checkers, but you can use it fairly as well. So this is one way out. This is just one of the humanizers. There are n number of humanizers available.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you, Gitanjali. Yes, please continue.
Sir, how many AI tools can we install in our computer, sir, for our work?
There is no limit to it. Most of them you can access from your, you don't even have to install many of them. Like, you can basically search it all the way from your browser, go there, and you can do your job and come back on your browser. You don't have to install any. Like, I'll give you a list of, like, I'll forward that to Koel, and she will be sending that list to you all. Don't worry about the list. I'll send that all. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Cohen ma'am.
Right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone else want to talk with our sir? Sir, everyone is giving you thanks for this enlightening session, and that's
Yeah, thank you so much,
really
everybody.
so. Once again, good evening, everyone. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. J.S. Ananthakrishnan sir for his enlightening talk on this topic, building a perfect AI research ecosystem, don'ts and do's and don'ts. So you can see his insight emphasize democratizing computing access, fostering indigenous AI capabilities, ensuring quality data set, promoting application development, and nurturing future AI talent. So let's collectively work toward a thriving AI ecosystem in India. Okay. It's such a pleasure to listen to sir throughout the session. We would definitely look forward to gather more information about this program and about the AI from you in the upcoming discourses. Hope that you would like it too. And now, with due respect, I would love to thank with all sincerity to the patron of Valat, Dr. Kalani Valat, ma'am, who is behind our all enthusiasm, and to my CSRF team. And a wide round of applause and thanks to all the participants who made the event a memorable one. Thank you, one and all. And guys, we will be coming back with another engaging talk soon in the month of May. So now it's the time to conclude today's session. Have a great evening ahead. Sir, with your permission, can we just finish today's talk?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for your
Yeah.
patient presence. And sorry, everybody, for making you miss a wonderful episode of a web series. I think 1.5 hours is like more than enough to finish an episode. So sorry for that, and thanks for being there. Thank you so much.
No, sir,
Thank you
it's
so much,
really. Sir, you can end the session for all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.